Going on YouTube? Today I'm gonna do a different type of video. I was going across YouTube and this video came up on my feed and I was like, you know what, let me react to it. This is my first time seeing it, so let me react to it with you guys. Let's see what I think of it. But I really don't know what it. I think it's like kind of like a recap about a movie. We'll see what's up. Let's get right to it.
Our story opens with Chema, the shy, well-mannered good boy, standing in the middle of a school party surrounded by laughter, flashing lights, and loud music, yet feeling completely alone. Meanwhile, his eyes keep drifting toward Ellie, the girl he secretly
Okay, what are we thinking about Ellie? So far, oh yeah, she's talking to a dude right now, right? While looking at this guy. So what does that tell you? She's probably promiscuous, you know? She's promiscuous. Why is she talking to this guy that's right in front of her while looking at this other guy? That's insane. That's one red flag. Red flag number two, she's wearing black lipstick. That's a red flag. So, and I don't know what this guy's doing here in the back, but anyways, alright. Two red flags as of now. Black lipstick, and she's looking at another guy while talking to another guy. Alright.
her presence pulling him in, while fear keeps him frozen in place, unable to say a single word. At that moment, his friend suddenly appears beside him.
Okay. Let's look at this guy's face, man. Yeah. He's weirded out. So like this guy's probably either drunk or I don't know what's going on, but this had to have been after COVID because no way you're licking someone on the cheek just like that, you know? That's insane. This guy's kind of a weirdo. Okay, let's go.
Teasing him with a smirk, calling him lonely, and bragging that he's about to show everyone how it's done with the girls. However, the confidence is nothing but an act. Just like Chema, he ends up rejected over and over again, the girls brushing him off without hesitation. Later on, after the party fades into memory, Chema walks home with his friends as they begin talking about their dreams. While the night air grows quieter, Chema shyly admits his wish to be with the girl he loves, flying together on a plane high above the clouds. Suddenly, laughter erupts around him. His friends mock what they call a childish fantasy, unable to understand the simplicity of his longing. Meanwhile, the conversation shifts toward the upcoming end-of-year dance and the school trip waiting at the edge of the calendar. They wonder whether they'll find someone to attend the dance with.
So you're telling me these are high schoolers, and these high schoolers are at a club. What club is letting little high schoolers get in and drink? You know, like this can't be America, man. This can't be America. Anyways. I thought these were like grown adults, but all right, high schoolers.
Whether they'll actually go on that final trip before graduation. Each one of them already has a girlfriend. Everyone except Jose Chema, the only one left unnoticed. Eventually, they tell him they feel sorry for him, blaming his loneliness on his shy and withdrawn nature, as if confidence were something you could simply switch on. The next morning, as soon as the sun rises, Chema's mother drops unexpected news. His uncle is coming to stay with them for 2 weeks, and since there's no extra space in the house, he'll be sleeping in Chema's room. At that moment, frustration flashes across Chema's face. He explains that his uncle cares about them and treats them kindly. However, he's not a child anymore. He's grown up and he doesn't want to share his space. Besides, whenever his uncle visits, the stay never feels short. It stretches far longer than promised. He asks his mother, almost pleading, to find another place for him to sleep. Meanwhile, his sister interrupts the tension.
You know, I have mixed opinions about this, you know. The uncle, he could stay on the couch, you know. They have it looks like they have a big enough couch. So, I don't know. I guess the mom wants to give a good impression, you know. One of them could stay on the couch. I don't think that's an issue, but all right, let's see what the sister has to say.
Urging him to hurry up so they won't be late for school. Inside the school halls, however, a different figure commands attention. There stands Sebas, the ultimate bad boy, effortlessly confident, every girl's eyes locked onto him. While Chema and his friends remain in the background, invisible and overlooked, Sebas becomes the center of admiration. The girls whisper about him, dream about him, wishing they could be near him or even be like him. In that moment, the contrast becomes clear. In a world that celebrates boldness and charm, Chema is still searching for a way to simply be seen. While they're sitting together, Chema keeps stealing glances at the girl he's been obsessing over, yet she couldn't be more indifferent, brushing him off.
Is this the same girl from the beginning? Hold up, let me, okay.
Meanwhile, his eyes keep drifting.
Bro, this dude's falling in love with every girl he sees, bruh. There's no way that's the same girl, bruh. There's no way. There's no way. This dude just falls in love with anyone he lays his eyes on, bro. Come on.
Brushing him off like he doesn't even exist. Meanwhile, his friend leans in and says something surprisingly sincere. Love changed his life. It's not about chasing the hottest girl in school. What really matters is finding someone who's like you, someone who shares your world. During class, the teacher suddenly shifts the mood, telling everyone they need to try different things in life to step outside their comfort zones. As soon as Chema hears that, he decides to act on it. He gathers what little courage he has and walks over to another girl, hoping this time will be different. However, the reaction is immediate and cold. She rejects.
Damn, bruh. This guy really just, he's trying to, I can't hate you can't hate the player though, you know? You can't hate the player. He's 0 for 3 right now, so man, he's shooting a shot like he booked, but you breaking them so far. But hey, 0 for 3, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. You know, I think that's a normal type of rate. You really give him a dirty ass look, boy.
Without hesitation, treating him poorly, leaving no room for dignity. At that moment, the spark inside him fades. He quickly gives up, pretending not to care. The classroom grows still as she calls his name. She points to something sitting on the desk.
What if he would have shot his shot at the teacher, man? At this rate, it don't seem like it's impossible, you know? Let's see.
And tells him to clean it. Chema protests, saying it's not his job. However, she turns to the class and asks, "We all know who the gentle one is, don't we?" Instantly, the entire room answers in unison, Chema. Eventually, he steps forward, grabs a tissue, and quietly cleans it up. That's when we understand the label she used. In Spanish, it's called El Suave.
Oh, okay, so it's a Mexico. Okay. That explains why they could go to the clubs. Oh, that makes sense. But okay, so this is a Spanish movie. Okay, this guy has a reputation then. He's known for being soft. Okay, now we know that. Now that's something new we know. Alright.
To the one who does the tasks everyone else refuses to do, the one who accepts what others avoid. In simpler terms, the naive guy, the soft one. Chema finds himself standing outside the principal's office. As soon as she steps out, she looks at him and says, "Aren't you the gentle young man?" Then she gives him a new assignment. He needs to take care of Claudia, the new student, because she's not from here. At first, Chema resists. He doesn't want another role that makes him look weak. However, the moment Claudia appears, everything...
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Bro, she low-key pretty bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. She pretty bad. She's looking at him some type of way too. So she must like what she's seeing, and she doesn't know that he's known for being soft. So my boy better not ruin it, cause I think this is probably his only chance so far. Man, all right, let's go.
She's stunning, beautiful, magnetic, effortlessly captivating. Suddenly, his hesitation disappears. He's completely mesmerized, staring at her like fate just handed him a miracle. Finally, it feels like the impossible has happened. He's standing face to face with the most beautiful girl in school. After giving her a full tour and showing her around campus, he casually points toward the parking lot and says she can park her car there. Claudia smiles and replies that she doesn't have a car, and her house is very far from school. This is his chance. Back at home, Chema asks his mom for the car keys, hoping she'll finally give him a chance. However, she refuses without hesitation. At that exact moment, Uncle Jamie arrives, the long-awaited guest. From the second he walks in, it's obvious how much he loves this family. He brings gifts for everyone, treats Chema's mother with warmth and respect. When she asks about his trip, Jamie casually mentions it took him 23 hours to get there. He drove the whole way. As soon as Chema hears that, his eyes light up. Suddenly, he flips the switch. "Uncle, my favorite person," he says, rushing to show him the room they'll be sharing. Later on, inside the room, Jaime gestures for him to sit closer. He speaks softly, almost seriously. He tells Chema he promised his father before he passed away that he would always look after the family. Then he leans in and asks about Chema's love life. That's when Chema opens up. He tells him about Claudia, the beautiful girl he just met, the girl who feels like everything he's ever dreamed of. However, there's a
Boy, this guy just met this girl, and he's already talking about how he's in love with her. I'm not gonna lie, I think he might be cooked. He's only known her for like an hour, and he's already talking about her. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Oh man, we'll keep that in mind.
He promised to drive her home, but his mom refused to lend him the car. If he doesn't show up, the other guys might step in first. Jamie smiles in that classic old school way. He tells him not to worry, but first, he offers advice. If Chema really wants to know whether Claudia likes him, there's a simple test. After he drops her off, he should look back. If she turns around to look at him too, then she feels something. Without another word, Jamie tosses him his own car keys. Take mine, he says. Go impress your new girl. Soon enough, Chema...
Okay, so the uncle's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's hooking it up. He definitely deserves to stay in the room. So far, I think it was worth it. Worth my boy Chema staying on the couch. So W in the chat for the uncle.
To Claudia's house to pick her up. However, instead of playing it cool or setting boundaries from the start, he jumps out of the car like an overeager gentleman and opens the door for her. Claudia, sharp and socially ambitious, wastes no time steering the situation. She tells him she's craving coffee. Chema hesitates for a split second. The only cafe on the way is expensive, far more than he planned to spend. Meanwhile, he forces a smile and insists on treating her anyway. Inside the cafe, he orders and pays, quietly feeling the weight of every dollar leaving his wallet. Later on, back in the car, another difference becomes obvious. His taste in music couldn't be more different from hers. The vibe clashes instantly. That's when we realize this isn't just about...
Dang, bro. When you don't have the same music taste, that stuff becomes a little more difficult, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. Dang. I think in his situation, I think he should fake it till he makes it, bro. I don't know. I think that's the only way he could achieve what he's trying to get, you know? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
It's deeper. Chema is soft, naive, almost too pure for this game, while Claudia carries herself with bold, bad girl energy. Two complete...
You know what she kind of looks like? She kind of looks like, I don't know if y'all seen Young Sheldon. She looks like Young Sheldon's sister. Yeah, that's what she kind of looks like. She looked a little familiar. Obviously, it's not her, but she looks familiar. Anyways.
Different worlds, now sitting side by side in the same car, heading towards something neither of them fully understands yet. The next day, they walk into school together and suddenly the atmosphere shifts. Meanwhile, the bad boy locks eyes on Claudia, openly impressed.
Bruh, I feel like movies have to like... Hold on, why is this chick looking at the camera though? Why is this chick looking at the camera? That's crazy. Why this guy too? What is he looking at? What are you looking at, boy? Anyways. Wait, they're all looking at the camera. Oh, no, okay, never mind. Why don't they just have a typical looking guy be the bad boy? Like, come on now. I mean, I feel like the nerd in this movie's, he's probably bigger than this dude.
Studying her like a new challenge. Chema notices, but pretends not to. Trying to secure his position, he introduces her to his nerdy friends, almost proudly, as if presenting proof that he finally belongs in a different league.
Okay. Here's my theory. I feel like this girl's gonna be acting like she's someone that she's not, and so vice versa with the guy. He's gonna start acting like someone that he's not, like to be liked by her, but she likes his normal personality. That's my guess. Remember I said that.
However, Chema makes another mistake. He hands Claudia a full class schedule, even gives her his own notebook so she can write in it, preparing everything for her as if she can't manage on her own. Then he says it, the line that seals it. Stay with me. Don't be friends with anyone else. It's possessive, insecure, and painfully naive.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's kind of psycho status, bro. Telling a girl you've known for a day to just stay with you the whole day. I don't know about that. That's a red flag coming from this guy's end. This girl probably low-key into that. So if she says yeah, then she likes where she's at.
Meanwhile, Ellie, the girl who used to ignore him completely, starts watching from a distance. Something shifts inside her. For the first time, she looks at Chema differently. Jealousy creeps in quietly. During class, two girls start talking about the end-of-year party, the biggest event on campus. Chema turns to his friends and proudly says he's been saving money for this night for a very long time. Later on, he mentions he plans to study engineering, just like his father. However, his voice lacks excitement. It sounds more like obligation than passion. Something unexpected happens. Ellie, who once wouldn't eat...
Bro, we got a little gold digger, bro. Like, bro, we got like this attention-seeking ass chick, bro. Like, all of a sudden, she sees my boy with a pretty girl. Oh, now she wants to talk with him when she wouldn't even bother to look at him. He better stand his ground, cause ain't no way, boy.
acknowledge him, walks up to talk. Suddenly, Chema seems more interesting now that he's standing beside someone even more attractive. As they speak, they discover they share the exact same taste in music. The connection feels natural, effortless. Ellie then invites him to go with her to a music competition. Without thinking too much, he agrees. At that exact moment, Claudia steps in. She greets Ellie with a casual, almost dismissive tone. Hey, what was your name again? Then she turns to Chema. Let's
Damn. Damn, this girl, she lucky crazy too, cause she's already like claimed him as hers, you know. So now she's kind of being a little passive aggressive with this other girl. So, man, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's gonna work out between these two. No, I think they're both equally crazy, you know. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm messing with the connection they have so far.
The tension is obvious. Ellie's jealousy is no longer hidden.
Damn,
Later on, when Chema drops Claudia off, she asks him for another favor. Can he drive her to her yoga and dance class? He agrees instantly. That's mistake number 3. Then, as if he hasn't learned anything, he steps out once again to open the car door for her. That's mistake number 4. Now, here's the question. Was Chema being sweet or just foolish? Let me know in the comments.
Was he being sweet or foolish? I think he was being desperate. I think that's the better word. He was being a little desperate. He interacts with his first girl that shows him attention. He's doing whatever it takes to keep her. I think he just has to be himself. But yeah, I think he's being desperate.
What you think. Before driving away, Chema remembers his uncle's advice. He stops the car and looks back. Will she turn around? For a second, nothing happens. Then suddenly, Claudia turns and even waves at him. That's all it takes. In Chema's heart, it's confirmation. He convinces himself she truly likes him. And just like that, the naive good boy believes he's finally won. Chema wakes up before dawn the next morning, determined not to lose momentum. While the city is still dark and half asleep, he drives all the way across town to pick up Claudia from her house, miles away from school. The bad boy looks at him with that half smirk and says, "What's up, El Guau?" The word lands heavier than it sounds. Claudia stands behind them, watching closely.
This chick just vaped, bruh. And look at this chick in the back. She's still hating, bruh. I'm telling you. Now I'm lucky getting bad. I'm getting bad vibes from both of these chicks. This chick is a little smoker, so what does that tell you? She's a follower. She likes to do what other people are doing. This chick in the back, she doesn't like other people getting attention. She's like that type of kid that doesn't like to share her toys that she's not even using, you know? So I think stay away from both of them, my boy.
We'll break down what El Guau really means in a moment, because trust me, it's a label that shapes more teenage lives than people realize. Meanwhile, Ellie is standing a few steps away, jealousy flickering across her face as she watches everything unfold. The bad boy casually throws out an invitation. He's hosting a party at his house. Bring Claudia, bring your friends. The offer sounds friendly on the surface. However, it's painfully obvious why Chema is suddenly included. Of course, he says yes. The same guy who once ignored him now wants him there, and it's clearly because of Claudia. Back home, Chema starts getting ready for the party. His uncle Jaime shows up again, armed with another outdated piece of advice. He warns him not to let the girl he likes hug him. If she hugs you, he says seriously, she'll tell you you're like a brother. Another old school theory dropped with full confidence. That night, Chema and Claudia walk.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna lie. It could be 50-50. It just depends on the girl, you know? She could either, like if a girl's into you, she's gonna be trying to, like, touch up on you, you know? Or if you touch up on her and she don't do nothing, then she cool with it. She's into it. But that's also another thing. Like, if she's, like, comfortable hugging you, like, she possibly does see you as a brother. But her, yeah, I think the uncle has a good point. I think she'll probably like hug him and say he's like a brother. Yeah. I think the uncle's right.
To the party together. For a brief second, it feels like a win. However, the illusion shatters quickly. The bad boy walks up, grabs Claudia by the hand, and pulls.
You're telling me that he walked in, and as soon as he walked in, he let this girl get taken by another man? Boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. And she willingly held his hand. Look at the smile she's giving him, bruh. Yeah, I'm telling you, he has to stay away from this chick. I think it's gonna work out between these two.
straight to the dance floor. She goes without resistance. And this is where we truly understand El Suave. It's not just gentle. It's the naive guy, the one who believes effort guarantees affection, the one who thinks he'll be more than a friend to the most desired girl in school, simply.
This, my boys, is why you can't be a simp. This ain't no red pill talk. This ain't no red pill talk. But you can't be no simp, boy, or else you'll end up like my boy right here.
Because he's kind, available, and always there. As for El Guau, its meaning is still unfolding, but you can already sense it. On the dance floor, Claudia and the bad boy move effortlessly together. His friends gather around him and ask the question that suddenly feels dangerous. So, who are you taking to the end of your party? Without hesitation, still clinging to hope, Chema answers confidently, Claudia. Of course. His friends don't sugarcoat it. They look him straight in the eye and tell him the truth he refuses to see. You're being naive, they say. Claudia doesn't love you. She never will. She's completely different from you. He wants the fantasy.
The odds of you existing are...
A little later, the bad boy approaches him with a
What do you guys think? Should he give the other one a chance, or should he just not be with none of them? I personally think he shouldn't be with either of them. One of them wants him because she's getting attention. The other one doesn't want him, and she'll go with any guy. Let me know in the comments.
Claudia shows up, glowing with excitement. She tells Chema she was supposed to go home with the bad boy that night. However, she's clearly drunk. The words blur. Her balance shifts. At that moment, Chema makes a decision. Instead of letting things unfold, he takes her home himself. Whether it's protection or quiet opportunism, even he isn't sure. The next morning, Claudia wakes up disappointed. She tells Chema she's upset the bad boy never called. He tries to comfort her.
All this time, she looked at him as a brother, bruh. So this guy was taking her, doing all her errands, because she saw him as a brother. Hold on, okay, we're gonna see if they hug. Hold on, let's see.
She deserves someone better, someone who actually sees her. In response, she hugs him tightly. For a split second, Chema...
Yeah, it's game over for my boy. She's not feeling him. She wasn't down.
This is it. This is the moment everything changes. Then she delivers the line that shatters him. You're like a brother to me. Later on, Chema talks to his mom about Uncle Jami staying in the house. She tells him his uncle is planning to rent a place nearby so he can remain close to the family. Chema hesitates, then asks her something unexpected. Could your feelings for him ever become something more? He clearly likes you. She immediately shuts it down. Impossible. He's like a brother. And suddenly, the irony hits. Chema points out that his uncle does so much for her, drives across the country, brings gifts, stays close, yet she still sees him as family. His mom brushes it off and shifts the conversation.
So, let me get this straight. The son is trying to hook up the mom with the dad's brother.
Back to him. Forget that. Tell me about your love story. He explains that he loves Claudia, that he drives her to dance lessons and yoga classes, that he's always there. However, his mom gently suggests something else. She thinks Ellie is more suitable for him. They're similar. She likes the same music. They connect naturally. Chema shakes his head. No, I love Claudia. At that moment, his sister walks in and looks at him with a mix of pity and honesty. You poor thing, she says. You're El Guau. And here's where the word finally reveals itself. Guau is the Spanish sound of a dog's bark. Woof. El Guau isn't the alpha. He isn't the bad boy. He's the loyal pet, the sweet, obedient guy who does everything for the girl, waits, drives, pays, protects, only to be
No way. If this isn't the start of his villain origin story, I don't know what will be.
On the head and told he's like family. In other words, Chema isn't her dream guy. He's her emotional support dog. Trying to reclaim some dignity, Chema goes to Ellie. He knows things have been distant lately, so he makes an effort to fix what he broke. He apologizes. He listens. Eventually, they make peace and agree to go to the end-of-year party together. For the first time, it feels balanced, equal. However, not long after, Chema is sitting with Claudia again while she casually smokes, complaining that the bad boy has been ignoring her. Then suddenly she looks at him and says she wants to go to the party with him instead. As usual, Chema lights up. The hope returns instantly. The next day, Claudia is sitting with the bad boy's friends. That's when she overhears something that changes everything. They tell her the bad boy actually wants to take her to the party. Then they laugh and reveal something even worse. Each of them has their own guau. One calls over the guy who does her makeup. Another whistles for the boy who studies for her exams. Both respond immediately, obedient, eager, almost trained. And then Claudia looks across the yard at Chema. He's standing there holding her bag, her coffee, everything. The second she glances his way, he straightens up and asks if she needs anything. That's the image. That's El Guau. Later, Claudia gets into the bad boy's car and drives off with him, completely ignoring Chema. Still, he goes to her house anyway to return her bag. At that point, you almost want to shake him. He knocks on the door. No answer. Something feels off. So he makes a reckless decision. He climbs up toward her room, and that's when he sees it. Claudia and the bad boy together. No ambiguity, no misunderstanding. The illusion finally collapses. Back at home, Chema's mother is having her own quiet heartbreak. Uncle Jamie tries to confess his pure, long-held feelings for her. Once again, she gently rejects him. History repeats itself.
I'm not gonna lie. Why the mom cut a bad low? I feel like she lucky better than both of these chicks. Not for the boy, but I'm just saying she cute.
Walks in, destroyed. Jamie follows him into the room. Chema tells him everything he saw. He admits he's been nothing more than a dog to Claudia, that she loves someone else. Then the final blow comes. Claudia calls him. She tells him she's not going to the party with him after all. She's going with the bad boy. This time, something shifts. Chema calmly tells
He saw both of them in the room, and he still thinks she would go to the dance with them. I think there's something wrong with this dude, I'm not gonna lie.
he's going with Ellie instead. He goes to Ellie's workplace, the small music spot where she feels most alive, and asks her again, sincerely, to go to the party with him. She agrees. At the end of year party, Chema walks in with Ellie by his side. It feels different this time, real. However, across the room, he sees Claudia dancing with the bad boy, and despite everything he's learned,
Okay, new theory. This girl likes Guau, but Guau can't stop thinking about Claudia. So she notices that he's staring at the other girl, and she leaves the party, and then he runs after her and tells her, you know what, I couldn't imagine myself without you. I want you actually. And then it's happily ever after.
He still burns. At first, the tension lingers. However, after a few honest words with Ellie, something shifts inside Chema. This time, it isn't desperation or ego, it's real admiration. He sees her differently. He chooses to dance with her. And as they move together, the energy feels balanced, equal. Meanwhile, across the room, Claudia watches. For the first time, she looks jealous. Not because she loves him, but because her loyal Guau is no longer orbiting her. Suddenly, she walks over and interrupts them, asking Chema to step aside so they can talk. And once again, the naive boy follows her without resistance. She looks at him and says, almost playfully, "Did you forget about me?" Chema answers honestly. He tells her he thought they were going to be more than friends. She laughs, not softly, not kindly. She laughs at him. Ellie hears everything. The words cut deep. She looks at Chema, hurt and furious. "So I was just your backup, your second option?" Then she says the one thing he deserves to hear. "You're the worst." She walks away. His friends follow. In a single moment, Chema loses everyone. He stays at the party alone. Eventually, he drinks too much. By morning, he's barely able to walk straight. On the stairs, he runs into Uncle Jamie. Through blurry eyes, Chema says the harsh truth out loud. "We're dogs, Uncle. You and me. You do everything for my mom. I do everything for Claudia. We're dogs, and they'll never choose us." The words land heavier than he realizes. The next morning, his mother walks into his room with news. Jamie left. He wrote them a letter saying goodbye. No drama, no complaints, just distance. For the first time, it's clear his uncle chose self-respect over proximity. And something changes in Chema. He decides.
Good for the uncle, man. He should not be no little babysitter, no caregiver for the mom if she don't even mess with him, boy. I hope my boy learns something from that.
He won't stay the same either. He tries to apologize to Ellie in different ways. Messages, conversations, small gestures. However, she's still hurt. She doesn't let him off easily. Later on, Chema has a quiet conversation with his mom and discovers something unexpected. She actually has feelings for Jamie. She just never admitted it. Immediately, Chema sends his uncle a message.
The whole time the mom had feelings for the... Nah. It's... Once he left, that's what she wants to say, that she has feelings for him. Because he's not there to help her. They be picking and choosing whenever they want, man.
Him the truth. Maybe it's not too late. At school, during the party aftermath, Chema approaches the principal. Calmly, he tells her he's not El Suave anymore. Then he walks away. He heads toward the field where the bad boys are playing. Nearby, the girls are laughing while their guau boys fetch the ball for them like obedient pets. Chema steps in and stops one of them from running after it. Then comes the moment that defines the film. He gives a speech, raw, honest, powerful. He tells them that being kind doesn't mean being weak, that loving someone doesn't mean losing yourself, that as a young man, you must have a personality, boundaries, presence. Most importantly, you must put your dignity first, because if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. He looks them all in the eye and says the line that changes everything. If you don't respect yourself, she will never respect you. Then he turns to one of the boys and calls him out, not to embarrass him, but to wake him up. You're one of the smartest guys in this school. You're better than this. He points at another. And you're insanely talented with makeup. You're an artist. Meanwhile, the rest of the boys stand frozen. Chema keeps going. He tells them they all have gifts, talents, value. They just forgot it. Don't humiliate yourselves for anyone, he says. We're not dogs. We're men. No one belongs to anyone. We're lions. Then he softens his tone. The bad boy steps forward and claps. Well said, he admits. One by one, the rest of the students join in. Suddenly, Chema isn't Guau anymore. He's the guy who stood up, the guy who found his voice. Claudia approaches him one last time, trying to pull him back into the old dynamic. She invites him to the party again, as if nothing changed, expecting him to follow like always. However, Chema looks at her calmly and says no. He tells her she's just a friend.
Checkmate, boy. That's all I gotta say, man. Bro, how the tables turn, man. I'm telling you.
That she should stay in her lane. For the first time, he chooses himself. Soon after, his friends return. They apologize. The tension dissolves. Things feel lighter. The balance is restored. And between him and Ellie, something real finally begins to bloom. This time without ego, without comparison, without insecurity. Back at home, Uncle Jamie returns too. This time, he isn't leaving quietly. He tells Chema he's staying for good. He's going to marry his mother. And just like that too, Guau.
He's gonna marry the mom that quick, boy? This dude must have some crazy game, because he only stayed there for a few days. Man.
And rewrite their story. Chema makes his own decision as well. He won't study engineering just because his father did. He chooses music, the thing that actually makes him feel alive. And in the final scene, we see it come full circle. The school trip, the airplane, Chema sitting next to the girl he truly loves. Up in the sky, above the dream he once whispered to his friends, the fantasy they laughed at, has finally come true.
Well, that was the end of the video. So, you know, this is my first reaction video. My first time seeing this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I think it was a pretty interesting movie, you know. Let's do a little takeaway though, or let's do a little analysis. So I was wrong about my first theory. I thought he was gonna get with the first girl shown in the beginning of the video. The other girl that would ignore him, I guess she turned out to be good, and I was completely wrong about the new one. She wasn't acting, she was just I don't know, she was just something else, you know. I kind of did get it right, where it was like she would like notice him looking at her, blah blah blah, and then she would run away, but he didn't run after her until after. So I think I technically got the theory correct, you know. So I'm 1 for 3 on the theories that I had today, so it's not too bad, you know. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all next time.